Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Sunday, March 8th, 2020. In both the Lynn Life and the Jamie Body Mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions. And all other souls from all other dimensions, as long as the souls are already living by the many rules already given to the search for truth community by wiser minds above all of us. And again, we acknowledge that almost never is that the case, but that if we don't say that, then we aren't doing our job. And the person who's saying that, the soul who's expressing that, might be Saul. It feels similar to Saul. And Saul does attempt to live by those rules. Somebody else is saying, kind of like a third-party observer is saying, Saul does attempt to live by those rules. And so it's offensive to the souls who are attempting to live by those rules when other souls come flouncing in here without making any attempt whatsoever. That's what they say. We're just passing it on.
Yeah, that's right.
For him is the message. And why do you ask? One of the instructions that's been given to the Search for Truth community, this is a soul who feels like they know they are not a very important soul, like they know they have no status, but that they have been tasked with an assignment and they intend to complete the assignment.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's the feeling of this soul, and it's a soul who's been here for quite some time, and they're saying that one of the assignments that's been given to the Search for Truth community is to follow up on questions that have already been put on the table in some way, shape, or form, to which we have not yet received an answer, and somebody else is asking why that might be, and it's kind of a grumpy voice, as if they're trying to say that that somehow must be an invalid focus.
Yeah, that's right.
And somebody else, so we definitely have a discussion group, somebody else is saying they've already been vetted. Those questions have already been vetted.
Yes.
They've already been deemed worthy, and therefore there's a presumption that they need to be answered.
That's right.
And we have 3 questions that have all been put on the table, maybe not with the identical wording, but the concepts are all on the table. And they come together for an important, timely, relevant inquiry. And so we'd like to put those questions on the table. Is that acceptable? And we think we really need to be clear that we're trying to reach presences who are outside of the black hole, if that's what it is, that planet Earth has fallen inside of. A black hole that seems to have been created by an overwhelming amount of corruption, and possibly by the amount of backup that's necessary in a divine plan in an era of corruption, that the plan gets so dense, there's so much backup necessary, that it seems to create a black hole.
Yep.
And we might have the details wrong, somebody is saying, but
I hear you.
But the concept seems to not have triggered any argument upstairs.
That's true.
Which would imply there's something to it. For him is the message, and why do you ask? I see that room, and it has kind of like a NASA-esque look.
That's what I was just seeing also, with really big computers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there's a smell that they're all trying to kind of ignore, and that smell seems to be coming up from a tiny to them, a tiny little portal that seems to be the link through dimensions, through space and time, to wherever we are.
That's right.
Okay, let's put the first question on the table.
The first question is, what is the best possible outcome given these realities with dependable levels of backup?
What is the best possible outcome with the realities we see playing out around us? It has to be something that's observable, visible, and dependable levels of backup. And somebody asked what the definition is of dependable, and somebody else says that several different standards have been put forth by guardian angels who are being asked to plan their charges' lives around the projection. And some guardian angels have asked for 10 years dependability, and some have asked for 5 years dependability, and some have asked for at least 6 months of dependability.
Yeah, that's right.
And so we would say let's start with 6 months of dependability, because all three of those groups would agree that at least 6 months is necessary.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So enough levels of backup so that there's a dependable, already it's just so dense, it's just falling through reality. Mm-hmm. Okay, well clearly that's, let's not bother with longer projections than 6 months. And now, given the realities of, we're actually more than halfway through on planet Earth, Ground Zero planet Earth, more than halfway through murdering all other life on Earth, all non-human life on Earth, and humanity is doing this, unfortunately, using tools that the spirit world sent in, and it does seem that at least since 1212 AD, that there has not been a way for the spirit world to reach into the depths other than to those who are already reaching up to them.
That's right.
And after death. And as a result, karma is being delayed until after death for all but the best of the best. That's a reality. Please test it. Verify for yourself. Up there in that room, there are at least 1 or 2 souls up there listening or paying attention.
I feel that feeling.
Somebody's kind of like on hands and knees putting the eye to the rat hole or something like that.
I feel that.
Like, what's down there? Interesting. What now? Can we have the question again?
What is the best possible outcome given these realities with dependable levels of backup?
One of the important realities is there's no upward flow, none
That's
at all.
true.
It's shut down entirely, and even for small containers like a host life, we've got to repeatedly get the upward flow going many times every hour.
That's true.
And at night when we're supposed to be sleeping because we're diurnal, the upward flow stops completely.
That's right.
So there's no upward flow, none at all. And karma is delayed until after death for all but something less than 2%, best of the best, who are asking for instant karma and whose guardian angels have agreed to provide instant karma and whose guardian angels are doing the work necessary to provide the instant karma. Everybody else, karma is delayed till after death.
That's true.
Those are important realities. Do you need to know any more? And we're already more than 50% through murdering all other life on Earth using tools sent in by the spirit world, and that's the important part, that this is all happening because the spirit world was invited in. And one inquiry that has been put forth is to ask what it would take to put planet Earth back the way the spirit world found it. Could we do that? Is there any way to just put it back the way the spirit world found it?
Someone's saying, what do you mean the way the spirit world found it?
Well, here's the energy of it. It was a forested world, not polluted, basically forested land masses, teeming with life, less than maybe 80,000 humans.
That feels real.
And everything was, rampaging bullies, which was why Pan invited in the spirit world.
That's right.
Because he said, surely we can do better, and nobody's listening to me, Pan.
That's
So
right.
let's at least try it with these, he says, schmoes. Somebody
That's
says
what he
schmoes.
said.
And then, of course, we all know what happened. Now it's, they're large deserts, and the forests are being actively burned. What's the remaining pockets of forest? Heavily polluted air, water. There's not an unpolluted lake, river, or stream on the planet.
That's right.
Pollution masses the size of continents floating in the ocean.
That's right.
pollution masses the size of continents floating in the oceans. Even raindrops in the high Arctic have microplastics in them, showing that plastics are everywhere, and we all know plastics are problems, health problems. Rama's message, why do you ask? That's very quiet.
Very, very quiet, and I don't see that NASA room anymore.
No, what now to put planet Earth back the way the spirit world found it? With dependable levels of backup. What now to put planet Earth back the way the spirit world found it, with dependable levels of backup. What now to put planet Earth back the way the spirit world found it, with dependable levels of backup. Please may we have a plan to put planet Earth back the way the spirit world found it, with dependable levels of backup. It's very opening.
Yeah, it is.